So it's like my first time on live YouTube, and I'm talking about the protesters. Um, I want to start with the Capitol. Let's start with the Capitol. And what I did was kind of defined protesters, and then I went to even using as a noun, and then I went to the mob and blah blah blah. So I'm just fixing to start with, let's say, the Capitol Hill started with protesters. And a protester is a person, which is a noun, a person who publicly demonstrates strong objection to something, semicolon, a demonstrator. So I'm thinking when they were first, protesting, I guess it was legal for them to just protest, right? Okay. I Googled the mob because, they're calling the mob now. And this is why they're calling the mob. This is the noun. A large crowd of people, especially one that is disorderly in intent on causing trouble or violence. So when they started burning things, that was the intent on changing them to become the mob. Now, as a verb for the mob, it's a crowd around someone in an unruly and excitable way in order to admire or attack them. Now, when I got on um, CNN, www.cnn.com, it tells the whole story. It tells how four people were killed, one cop was killed, protecting, the Capitol building or whatever his duties were. And then a protester was killed, a woman shot in the chest by a police officer on duty, and she eventually died. So the, the to make this solution a real resolution, Congress decides 15 hours later to recount the votes, against Biden and Trump, which when 15 hours later, Congress decided to recount votes to delay Biden's what is it, inauguration. So this, what Trump did, actually was a great tactic, to get Congress to see whatever he wants them to see so he can stand in president in the White House and to use people to protest. Why I didn't understand what took so long was for the feds to come. Now, if you listen to CNN.com, they're telling you how the senators had to evacuate and all these people had to evacuate. They were throwing tear bombs, pushing the people away, fighting, just a bunch of different types of stuff, um, to protect the Capitol. Now, these the mob believe, which is President Trump mob, believe that they built the Capitol. So they felt like they had the right to come in there and destroy and try to prove a point for Trump. At the end of the day, now CNN is saying that they're still looking for certain people, which they had their faces because they didn't have no mask. It's Corona time, they should have been fined for that. They really should have went to jail for not having any mask and not doing social distancing because we are really working together to get rid of the COVID. Because I refuse, I don't really want to have to wear a mask for the rest of my life. But if I have to wear a mask out and for the rest of my life to protect me and my family, I will, as well as getting the vaccine. I'm not on that yet because I have to do my research. I'm on this protest at Capitol Hill. Okay, so Arkansas. First person they come and get was a guy, and I'm gonna put the website, Arkansas news website, on here so you can actually get on the website and you can watch the whole thing. It's www.krk.com, and it's based in Arkansas. Now the feds came to pick up a guy from Benton, Arkansas, which is like a suburb out of Little Rock. Pick up a guy named Richard Barnett, who was one of the mobsters at the Capitol Hill. It's a video how they arrested him on um, the KRK, and it shows him going into there, and then the police arresting him. Now, he did admit to stealing some of Pelosi's items from her desk. So I don't understand why would you steal something. And I mean, I don't even know. They never really said what he stole, but he admitted to stealing from, Nancy Pelosi's desk. Okay, so this is the guy who was sitting on Nancy Pelosi's desk with his feet crossed. He is from Benton County, Arkansas. In Arkansas, so his name was Richard Barnett. And yes, he was arrested Friday. Yes, he's arrested Friday, I guess, in Little Rock. I want to say in Little Rock. They arrested him. And like I said, he admitted to stealing items off of Nancy Pelosi's desk. So that's bad time for him. And I mean, it's bad time for a bunch of people. I mean, you're talking about a capital that's federal. Then you stole something that's federal, and it's probably state as well. Then you bar banded, and you basically like robbed the Capitol, the House of Representatives. You robbed them. You busted into the door when they told y'all not to, and took over. So I just think this, and I have to be kind of logic um, about this situation. You know, Trump fought hard for Hillary Clinton to get where she couldn't get her recount, and she still got the recount. He still won. Trump just doesn't have any respect for our country. Um, it's divided. I used to say rich and poor, but I really think it's white and black is divided. Looking at the mob and the protesters, with the mob, because they changed them from protesters to the mob. And I told Red why using nouns and verbs, how it could. I'm sorry about that. But I read how in definitions, how it goes from us being a protester, then it turns to threatening and having an intent on doing something negative or harmful to someone. It turns to the mob. Um, it's the thought, but then when you actually do it, that's when you're really the mob. And so I just believe that racism is real. And I think it's sad because I grew up with all races. I mean, all people, all, I hate saying colors, but all, you know, different type of cultures of people, you know, human beings are human. And sometimes they react as a human, and it's just so many things that people say about Trump. Oh, he didn't go to school, didn't do this, but it doesn't matter because he was he'll forever be known as one of the presidents of the United States of the world, and it's getting to the point where all the people are looking at this, and I just think this needs to stop. I mean, what go around comes around. If you didn't win, you didn't win. You can run again next term, but people are getting tired of being divided, especially in certain states. Now, now I can talk about my state, and I know my state is really divided. You got the black people over here, whites over here. And my state it started with each state has their own Supreme Court. So it started with the Supreme Court, and then it went on to the police, and but in this community, we still have all races. So, but I'm just saying, as in higher society, the people that you pay your taxes to do well or for what they say, as far as in if I want to run for mayor and I say I want to have reparations here, cash, blah blah, that type of stuff. I mean, but it's when you have a one person to make it hard for people to get along. And I don't just think it was just Trump. I just think, when Trump said what he said, the truth came out of certain people. There's even black people that cannot stand whites. You know, so I mean, don't like the devil at all. And it's many of us. And so you have to understand that this has been going on, especially in the South, for a very long time. What kind of like surprised me was when Minnesota, George Floyd, you know, got shot. There's a big deal, and I can empathize and relate. But you have to understand, in Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, that happens to us all the time, and we never are noticed for it. And I just hate for up north to have to actually have to realize what racism and discrimination and stuff is, because all my life I always thought up north and west they don't deal with racism. Everything's supposed to be cool, but when you get further deep into the south, you can tell that racism exists, and it's just I'm kind of used to it. I've been used to it. I was raised like that to, you know, respect white folks. I mean, you know, but I just feel like as an African American, a black person, I was born and raised in this country, and I have descendants that were born and raised in this country, and um, and ancestors, and they were slaves as well. And I'm from this country. That's just it. This is my home. This is it. I mean, that's just what it is. And yeah, a lot of things upset me, especially when it comes to my race, because we been fighting for equality and just many different things for years. And you getting ready to go? I'm gonna get Brandon get some gravel. It ain't gonna be no lot, but I'm gonna need to help him spread it right Who? There. I ain't helping him. Well, I do it. He can do it. But why he just can't do it? Because I asked him to do it. But mama, why he just can't do it by himself? I understand that, but you shouldn't have to help him. That's my mother. We're close. But I refuse to help my little brother put some gravel down. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And I don't think she should do it either. He should do it on his own. He's a man. I forgot what I was going to say. You know? Yeah, so I didn't vote. no black agenda, no vote. And I'm not ashamed to tell people I didn't vote. So it's the first time I never voted in a president, election. Um, I don't know. I think Biden is okay right now. He was president, Obama's vice president, which they couldn't do shit for African Americans. And it's the same Senate up there that was up there when Obama was in office. So I just don't understand how it's going to change. Um, I do defend criminals because most of them didn't do it, and most of them were railroaded. All races, who wants to be locked up, been far away from his family? Then all the men raping, even women getting raped. That's not cool to me. Something. Then all this money being spent on new penitentiaries, pens. I call it the pens. You know, not what we call it, but I just mm, still fighting. And I think I realized that I know what I think. I think I want to get back into doing petitions and stuff for, again and starting over in a different way. Okay, I see you, Quincy. Thank you. I'm gonna get off too. I just wanted to. I'm gonna come back on, and I told you I got me a little outline, so I have some other stuff I want to talk about. Yes, but I'm gonna research it again. Okay, I always research whatever I do. I mean, and it might take me, sometimes it might take me 3, 4 hours to get the facts, but I'm a researcher and that's what's up. I don't like to deal with opinionated people. I mean, we all have our own opinions, that's cool. But when it comes to a fact, the fact is a fact, point blank, and I'm for a lot of stuff. But yes, thank you for joining in. I just kind of wanted to talk about Capitol Hill. Just sad. I mean, and then one more thing I want to say is when people were protesting for Black Lives Matter, they had all the can do this and the other. But I don't understand how these people got into these buildings. You know, but God bless America. God bless you all. You have a blessed day. Um, Stay focused and stay positive on what you got to do for yourself, and don't let nobody take your joy away. Smile at them. Thank you for listening.